In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Malik Monk and his basketball shooting form. He is a very hot shooter this year, and he's putting up a lot of big numbers. So let's get down and let's check out how he shoots the basketball at such a high level. Let's check him out. If you want me to check out your basketball shooting form, make sure to go check out the link down in the description below. Okay, so the first thing that I really want to look at is, of course, his base on this shot. His base has his feet, his knees, even though they slightly come together, hips and shoulders all pointing the exact same direction, which is slightly tilted towards the left of that rim. There's an important factor behind this, and that is when he goes up for a shot, by tilting slightly away, that allows him to get his shoulder and elbow in line with that rim. He also has that ball halfway over his shoulder or upper arm, which will allow him to have a straight shot that essentially creates the shooting triangle that I always talk about. He also has fantastic energy transfer. As soon as he locks his knees, that's when he starts to go up into his shot release. See, you want everything to flow together. When you are bending your knees, you want to start bringing that ball up into its set point, and then when you start releasing, you want your knees to be locked. That is going to allow you to have beautiful energy transfer, and of course, a one motion style shot as we see here. A one motion is when you do not freeze at the same spot. Now, he freezes for about 2 to 3 frames at that same spot, so technically some coaches could say that it is a two motion shot, but a two motion shot is usually a very hard stop. This also gives a fantastic release point where we can officially say that he is releasing with his pointer and middle finger. He also has zero thumb flick. That ball or that hand releases from that ball early so that it does not affect that shot. And he also has a nice soft high release with his elbow above his forehead. We can also see from this angle right here that he actually has some pretty good balance. He has 90 degrees on his hips and roughly 90 degrees on his knees. We also see him looking at the rim before he takes that shot. That allows him to see the rim, but also with his peripheral vision see everything else so that he can see defenders like Julius Randle over here who may be in line to block his shot. We can also see from this angle that he barely bends his elbow at all until he gets to that set point. You want to have the least amount of movement possible, and as soon as he starts to get to that set point, that's when he bends his elbow back for that release. He also slightly sways his knees forward or his feet forward and has his shoulders go slightly back. This is something that a lot of really good shooters will do to give them a more balanced shot but a more powerful shot. The mistake that a lot of younger players will make is they'll see this sway, but they do not bring their shoulders back. You want your body to go in the same direction in a way. You want to go from here to here. You don't want to have a V on your shot like this, as that can give you more power as a youngster, but when you start getting older like Malik Monk, that can really mess up your shot. We can also see that he does not have a 90-degree angle on his elbow, so unlike a Michael Jordan who will have a 90-90-90, he has a 90 on his shoulder, roughly a 45 on his elbow, and then when it comes to his wrist, I personally believe having a non-locked wrist as we see here gives you a quicker release in my opinion. Of course, that's not everybody's opinion, but we can also see from this angle that he doesn't have too much of a gap between his palm and the ball, which will give you a little bit more accuracy when it comes to shooting. However, if somebody was to hit that arm, it would mess up that shot quite a bit. When he receives this ball too, we can see that he doesn't exactly have a dip either. He doesn't dip that ball down to bring it back up. Sometimes this will give you a more inline shot. However, he does freeze slightly at his hips, which could be a mechanism to obviously speed up his shot, but that just removes the dip so that now that pause right there and essentially the triple threat, technically speaking, could be the way he gets himself in line because he steps last with his right foot, at least in this shot. He also is on his toes too, as we can see here. Even from this angle, we can see that he doesn't exactly have a dip. He catches that ball, he brings it right to his waist, and then he goes up for his shot. I have also found that sometimes with a soft release, as we see here, and not having that overly flexed wrist could give you more rotation on that shot too. A soft release will also give you more arc on the ball, while we have to remember that usually a soft release will not give you as much rotation on that ball. I also really want to break down his jump shot, or at least his dribble in jump shot too, because this is actually very good. When he dribbles into this jump shot, he takes one last dribble really hard, and then he brings that ball up all in one motion from gather all the way up into his set point in one motion. He doesn't freeze at his waist and then go up. He goes all in one motion up into his set point. This will give you a quicker shot, but also a more accurate shot. Again, the least amount of movement, the better. So, freeze and basically freeze here and then go up, that would give you a little bit of a hitch and could throw off your shot. It would also make it even more easier to block. We can also see that he sways his feet forward and shoulders back again on this same shot too. So altogether, a fantastic shooting form. I hope that this video can help you shoot that basketball better. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.